Hi, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the video. Recently, I just finished clearing for the first time Devil May Cry 2 HD for the stream. And I have decided that this year, to try and grow as a creator, to review every game that I beat on stream as part of my game clearing challenge. First up is Devil May Cry 2. I haven't completely figured out how exactly I want to set these post game clear reviews up. So I'm a little experimental with how things are going to play out. Things will be different from the Devil May Cry 2 review to the Infamous 2 review to all the other games that I beat and clear and then review. First, you'll hear my initial thoughts after beating Lucia's story. I beat Dante's story and then gave my thoughts on Devil May Cry 2 as the credits rolled. If I feel like I missed something, then editing Shane, future Shane, will cut in to expand or re-explain whatever it was I was talking about. So, with that said, let's get to the thoughts that I had on DMC2. We did it! We beat Devil May Cry 2 again! Yay! We did it! Well, honestly, like, I'm sure that the other difficulties would I'm sure that going to hard difficulty or Dante Must Die difficulty would rectify my difficulty issues with the game. But it would not rectify my gameplay issues with the game. It's like, It just, the gameplay's not there, in my opinion. I think, on the one hand, playing the reboot first was a good idea because I didn't go into it expecting certain things from Dante and Virgil and all the characters that were rebooted, that are in the main series. So I didn't go in with any preconceived connotations of this is what Dante is supposed to be, this is what Virgil is supposed to be, this is what the big bad is supposed to be. And I enjoyed it. And gameplay wise, I very much enjoyed the reboot. Thus far, the reboot is still my favorite of the Devil May Cry franchise. Because the first and second games, the gameplay is it's just not there. It just isn't. And, like, story-wise, second game, like, what exactly was going on? We got Arius. Like, here's the story as far as I know. Lucia is stealing a Arcana artifact from a museum. Dante, for some reason, shows up to, I guess, stop her? I guess? He shows up to stop her, takes the Arcana artifact, and Lucia tells him, if you want to do a thing, come to this island. And Dante is like, okay. And he goes to the island, jumps off the clock tower, and goes to find Lucia again. and talks to Mathieu and Lucia. And they tell him about Arius, who wants to do evil things. Become a demon, bring hell to our world, I think. He wants to do evil things. I'm not sure. And then we've got, so then Dante he goes to find the other Arcana artifacts, I guess, which I figured would be to stop him, would be to stop Arius, but they just help him. Future Shane here. I never did get to finishing the story recap during this stream, so here I am to finish the story recap. Dante gathers the 4 Arcana artifacts, and then I'm not exactly sure what his plan to do with the 4 artifacts was, because when he shows up to Arius's lair or skyscraper office, whatever it is, he's given an ultimatum by Arius: either give him the 4 Arcana artifacts or he kills Lucia. Dante, of course, surrenders the 4 artifacts. Arius takes them and then proceeds to do demon ritual stuff with it to presumably summon, well, not to presumably, but to summon a demon called Argosax the Chaos. He wishes to combine himself, or no, not combine. He wants to release Argosax to become an all-powerful immortal, according to the wiki. I don't know how releasing Argosax would make him immortal. I presume he's banking on Argosax giving him immortality as a reward for setting him free, but I'm really not sure. Regardless of why exactly or how exactly he gets this immortality and releases it because of releasing Argosax, something goes wrong during the ritual. The reason being, Dante replaced the Arcana coin with his own special coin imprinted with the Devil May Cry girl on it. It goes wrong. Argosax is not released. I don't think he is, or some of him is released, and whatever part is released proceeds to possess Arius. Or maybe Arius is just possessed by demons in general. I'm really not entirely sure. And Dante and Lucia Dante and Lucia have to decide who goes into the demon portal to prevent Argosax from completely escaping. Dante leaves it up to the flip of a coin. Heads, he goes in. Tails, Lucia goes in. He flips the coin. It lands heads. He gives the coin to Lucia and heads on in, where he proceeds to defeat Argosax and is presumably trapped in hell for an indeterminate amount of time until Devil May Cry 4 came out. Lucia, on the other hand, stays behind to handle the possessed Arius. And when she finally defeats him and inspects the coin that Dante gave her, she realizes that, oh crap, it's a fixed coin. Both sides are heads. That cheeky devil, Dante. And she proceeds to head back to the Devil May Cry shop, where she has her moments of introspection or whatever, out thinking of Dante and how devils don't cry, and how Dante is now trapped in hell. But Sparda was once trapped in hell, and Sparda came back. And then we hear Dante's motorcycle. She throws the coin away, and we do not see anything after that. All we focus on is the coin. We fade to black as she runs off to go inspect the motorcycle, presumably meaning that Dante's back. Dante escaped hell. I'll be honest, and I had this problem with the first Devil May Cry game. I don't know entirely what's going on with the story. I feel like I missed a lot, but at the same time, I feel like my summarization is like 80% accurate. I don't know what else to say. The story is there. I guess it's just not up to what I thought the story would be or how it would be presented. And it may be tied back to the fact that I started with the reboot. I started playing Devil May Cry, the franchise, with DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot, which is much more modern in terms of its story presentation, as well as the gameplay, which I do believe is what I'm going to be talking about next. So let's throw it back to Streaming Shane for the rest of the post-game clear review. Back to you, Stream Shane. So Devil May Cry 2. Like, I am sure I missed a lot of stuff. I'm sure I have. In fact, if we go to achievements, yeah, all the other stuff is just complete the game on higher difficulty or do it with or get S ranks. It's all just do better, be better. But like, my problem with be better, get good at the game is like, this may sound ignorant, but what is there to get good at with this game? What is there to get good at with Devil May Cry 2? Honestly, from what I can tell, the different combos, the control scheme is triangle is the sword, square is the guns. There seemed to be no mixing and matching between the sword and the gun. You couldn't like do two sword swings and then fire the gun a couple times and then do another sword swing, fire the gun a couple times, sword swing. You couldn't do that in the same way you can with DMC Reboot, which, yeah, gameplay wise, I think DMC Reboot set me up for disappointment with the at least the first two games. I don't know how 3 stacks up compared to 1 and 2. I would presume it is an evolution, and maybe it does introduce like light and heavy attacks or combos or like proper combos, whatever. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'll find out whenever I get to DMC 3 next year. Hi, Future Shane again. This is where the Frutiataurus fight, which is on screen and is going to be playing start to finish this entire time, comes in as the prime example of what I think is the biggest problem with DMC2's combat. It feels very heavily weighted in favor of the guns. Another big noticeable moment of this is with the final boss. There are, I believe, 5 or 6 different heads, which are all bosses of previous bosses of this game, and there's 2 from the first game. You've got the gorilla, the head from the fallen skyscraper. You've got the spider scorpion guy from the first game, the bird from the first game, and then the tentacle monster. And most of them, half of them, there is a spot on the arena where you can just stand in one spot and just shoot the enemy, shoot the boss, shoot the heads, and you are in 0 danger of actually getting hit. The exceptions, the spider scorpion guy, and I believe Griffin is, I believe, the bird, but you won't get hit by the tentacle, and you won't get hit by the orangutan. Half of them you don't get hit by. The gameplay is way too heavily weighted in favor of the guns, which I don't like, and this is tied to the reboot's combat system, and then going back to a more, shall we say, antiquated combat system where technically there are combos, but they're really not there. They're really not combos, if that makes sense. The game is also too easy. I don't remember if I've said that or not, but the game is far too easy. I know if I play hard difficulty or Dante Must Die difficulty, that will probably rectify my difficulty issues. But even then, I feel like if it gets too hard to melee, then I can just stand at a distance and start blasting. That's all I can think of for the gameplay right now. So back to Stream Shane. What was the reception of DMC2? Metacritic 68, Eurogamer 5 out of 10, GamePro 4 out of 5 stars, GameSpot 6.4 out of 10, and IGN 7 out of 10. Okay, so critically, critically that's a flop by DMC standards. How did the reboot do? Critically, the reboot did wonders. It 85 out of 10 across all systems on Metacritic, A1up.com, 8 out of 10 Eurogamer, 34 out of 40 Famitsu, 9 out of 10 Game Informer, 8 out of 10 GameSpot, 4 out of 5 Game Radar, 9 out of 10 Game Trailers, 8.9 out of 10 on IGN, and 8 out of 10 on VideoGamer.com. So yeah, the reboot is critically, and I would say mechanically, and even hot take, story-wise, better than DMC2. DMC2 is definitely the worst Devil May Cry game I've played thus far. Does that mean it's a bad game? No, it's not a bad game, but it is kind of boring. Now, maybe that's because it's too easy. Maybe the easiness, and probably that probably is the biggest culprit. The easiness is probably a big culprit of why I found the game so boring. Like, I didn't really. I felt. I don't know how the viewers felt, but I felt very silent, very quiet during most of Devil May Cry 2. Except when, like, facing a boss or just reacting. There was something out of the ordinary to react to. I don't know. It felt boring, and I guess playing on hard mode would probably, maybe, possibly, hopefully fix the issues. Will I play on hard mode? I don't know, maybe. There's trophy hunting. I could throw it into trophy hunting sometime. Maybe I'll do a trophy hunt for Devil May Cry 2 during October, during Halloween times. And we'll play on hard mode, see how that affects things, and I'll make a follow-up video about about my experience. But as it stands, Devil May Cry 2. Honest thoughts? It's there. It's boring. It's easy. If you thought the first game was hard, well, Devil May Cry 2 will definitely fix that. And I certainly had some points of difficulty with Devil May Cry 1, but I thought Devil May Cry 1's difficulty was actually pretty good. Devil May Cry 2 is just way too easy. I got nothing to say. As it stands right now, the rankings for Devil May Cry as a franchise: at the bottom, Devil May Cry 2, and then next one up is Devil May Cry 1, and at the very top, the peak of Devil May Cry is DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot. Now that I've pissed off all the Devil May Cry fans out there, thank you for watching the video. Let me know about what you think. Let me know what you think about what I think. Let me know what you think about Devil May Cry 2. And do it down in the comments. And then subscribe. Remember to like, subscribe, along with your commenting. And then go over to my Twitch, which is where I'm recording this right now. I'm recording this live after beating Devil May Cry 2 on stream for game clearing. And hopefully this video will be out soon. I'm going to try and get this video out Friday or Saturday. But right after I'm done recording this video, we're going to be jumping into Orphan Scion of Sorcery, a launch title, a launch RPG for the PlayStation 2. A game I've never heard of, but because of Summoner and how much of a shit show that was, I was curious how the other launch RPGs for the PS2 were, so we're gonna find out. But you can find out too if you come over to my Twitch. If you follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shane_Leith, link in the description. You come out here, you follow me, you watch the streams, we have some fun. It's a good time. Please, I need more friends. I need more people to talk to. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So until we see each other again, until you hear from me again, y'all have a good day, or good morning, or good night, or good evening, a good whatever time of day it is. And goodbye.